Hello, my name is Chloe, and over a year ago, I bought this house for $97,000 with everything from the previous owner in it. I'm calling it the treasure house. And today, I'm gonna share the story of how I bought this house, why this house came with all of the stuff in it, and then we're gonna do a little house tour. So let's get into it. The story begins on a crisp, unassuming Wednesday in 2023. Actually, let's go farther back. Plague, chaos, fear gripping the earth, Dalgona coffee, panic. It's 2020. There's no toilet paper on the shelves and there's no food in the grocery store. Okay, well, actually there was sauerkraut. I think the key to surviving the next apocalypse is to build up our tolerance to fermented German cabbage. But I digress. Let's go on. So amidst the panic and the chaos and the uncertain times, wait, no, what was the word people would always use? It was unprecedented. The unprecedented times. I thought to myself, I had a dream, I had an idea. I was like, oh my gosh, should I buy a house? So my thought was, I'm like, okay, no one's gonna wanna take a risk. No one's gonna wanna put themselves out there and spend a lot of money in these uncertain times. So I'm like, surely the housing market is gonna crash, right? Wrong. And I don't know if this was worldwide or just in the US, but in 2020, the housing market is going crazy. It's exploding. And I'm talking it will be the most normal looking house and there will be a bidding war and it will sell for $200,000 over asking price. That was what we were working with in 2020. And here's why the housing market is exploding from people that I know from my sources. Okay, for the past 10 to 15 years, there has been an HGTV propaganda campaign promoting open concept floor plans.
Most open concept of open concept projects we've ever done.
And create an open concept cooking and dining area.
Open concept as you'd like, that's fine.
Take down some walls. And the kitchen is open to the breakfast nook.
Yes.
And the breakfast nook is open to the great room.
Yes.
Kitchen island is also open to the breakfast nook and the great room.
Yeah.
Because it's so spacious. You know, even if they saw a more traditional looking house, they'd be like, can I knock down that wall? Because we just want to open everything up, get some air in here, get some sunlight.
So we're gonna take out this wall right here.
Right.
And then this whole section open up.
Yep.
And then this wall over here.
Yep.
And then this wall as well, right?
Okay, yeah, this is fine. But then 2020 happens and everyone is stuck at home and working from home. And they're awakening to the propaganda. They're like, I am in the living room. Why can I see you in the kitchen? I'm in the dining room. Why do I see my whole entire family? I need walls. Bring back rooms, bring back walls. I'm gonna make sure the walls are load bearing so we're not even tempted to knock them over in the future. I love privacy. Yeah. So that was why everything, I think, went crazy. Even though 2020 is crazy, the housing market is wild, I still have this dream in my heart and I'm like, I'm gonna buy a house. I was living with my parents and I think when I move out of my parents, it's gonna be because I bought a house. Now, did this make sense or was this delusional? No and yes. No and yes. So this dream of having a house kind of stuck with me, so much so that in 2021 and 2022, people would be like, oh, do you want to move in with me, be roommates? And I would just be like, no, I'm gonna buy a house, thank you though. But I'm just gonna buy a house, as if that's an easy thing to do, as if that's something even possible that I could be doing. So then 2020, 2021, I'm just saving up money. I'm working and I'm saving up money. Then 2022 comes around and I'm like, let me take the next step in this process. And that next step was me downloading Zillow and doom scrolling. My nightly Zillow doom scroll. Looking at all of the houses every day. Wait, this is so cute. Oh, it's $700,000. Okay, I'll like it. I'll give it a like, give it a heart. The next step after that was actually looking at some of the houses. And let me tell you, the jump between Zillow and seeing the houses in person is violent and horrifying. This one house that I looked at from Zillow just really encapsulates my whole entire experience with them. So I was scrolling on Zillow and I looked at this house and it's so cute. And It's $275,000. That's so affordable. Let me go check it out. So I call up this real estate agent guy someone connected me with, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to go look at this house. So we get there, and the outside of the house is so cute, and I love the location. Go to the house, we're in the basement, and the guy, he's doing his real estate agent thing. He's like, yeah, so this house is super cool because it was built in the blah blah blah, and I was just he freezes mid-sentence and his eyes get really big like this. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but I have to go. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, okay, I'm so sorry, but I am deathly allergic to mold. And look at the walls. I look. Covering all of the basement walls is like this black mold, cheese touch looking mold. He's like, I have to go right now. I have to go outside. He's like, I'm so sorry, but he's like, feel free if you just want to like still look, you could just give yourself, self-guided tour. He's like, I have to go. So he leaves me and I'm just in the basement by myself. And I literally don't know why I didn't just leave right then. Maybe I was in denial, the denial stage, like, oh, it's fine. But I gave myself a tour of the house. And so I was walking up the stairs, there's mold growing all over the stairs, and then I'm in the kitchen, there's mold all over in the kitchen. And like, this is nice. I could see myself cooking here. I could see myself making an omelet. Don't think about cheese though, because that's gonna gross you out, but I can see it. I'm going upstairs, there's mold all on the stairs, going upstairs on the walls. All these bedrooms, they're cute. I like them, a little small, but no, that's fine. They'll be great. To make it even more crazy, the walls are so thin and the next door neighbor has like an at-home daycare and you're just hearing her yell at these children. These children are in trouble and you can hear everything she's saying. And so, after I give myself my little tour, I'm a great real estate agent, by the way. I was really selling it to myself. I come downstairs and I talk with the real estate agent who's outside. Like, he's literally so far away from the house. He's like in the street, just he doesn't want to get sick. I should have asked him if he had an EpiPen, but he's way over here. And I'm like, hey, okay, so quick question. Does the $275 price, does that include the mold, or is that like not including the mold? And he's like, yeah, great, let me just call them up. So he calls them up. He's like walking farther away. I think he thinks I'm infected with the mold, which maybe. And he comes back and he's like, yeah, so the $275 price, that's including all of the mold. Interesting. They should add that in the amenities section on Zillow. Yeah, so I didn't end up buying that house. After that experience, I was kind of disillusioned by touring these houses. I don't know. I was like, if that house was $275,000, I don't know how this is. I don't know if this is ever gonna work. Then another thing that was really disheartening that happened is I had to get pre-qualified. So I had gotten pre-qualified for a house back in 2021, and I feel like I can't remember how much it was. It might have been like I qualified for like $300,000. I don't know. Then when I go to get pre-qualified, I have way more of a down payment because I've been saving up, and I'm getting paid a little bit more. But because of the interest rates, I can only afford $200,000. I don't know how that happened. But then I was like, okay, I can't even afford Cheese Touch headquarters, and I definitely can't afford anything. Like, I'm like, okay, this is so sad because maybe I should have bought a house back then because I could have qualified for more. And then at this point, the interest rates were the highest they have ever been in 23 years. The crazy thing is, I still have the conviction, like, when I move out of my parents' house is going to be because I bought a house. So I still have this conviction, and I didn't want to give up, but I did want to give up. And so I thought of a genius solution where I could give up, but it was like sneaky. It was like giving up without giving up, because I was like, everything that I'm doing, every house that I'm going to look at, everything I'm applying for, it's not working out. It's not working out. So I'm not giving up. I'm like, I'm just gonna give it to the Lord. That's yours. Here you go. I don't want to have to stress out about this. If it's just meant to be, then it will come to me. if it's meant to be, it will come right to me and I won't have to go look for it. So saying that was like me giving up because I didn't believe it at all. I didn't believe it was gonna just come right to me. So I said that, and then for a month, I didn't do anything. I deleted Zillow. I said, I don't want any of your catfishing anymore. Get out of here. I was just working, just chilling, just taking a break, just giving up. So now our story resumes on a crisp, unassuming Wednesday in October 2023. I'm working in my office, type, and all of a sudden I hear a knock on my door. Knock, knock, knock. It is my boss. And my boss comes in and he's like, Chloe, you have to go look at this house. And he explained to me that they have a real estate agent friend, and the friend is working with a family who had recently lost a relative. And the family just asked the real estate agent if he could reach out to people in his network and find a buyer so they didn't have to deal with putting it on the market, and they wanted this house sold pretty quickly. So my boss is like, Chloe, you need to go call this real estate agent. You need to go look at the house. He's like, it would be super cool. So my boss is like, you have to look at it. So that was a Wednesday. And then I called the real estate agent and he got me a showing for the house that Saturday. It's Saturday, I bring my dad, and I know going into it, this situation, which is that the previous owner had passed away, and so there is going to be a lot of their stuff in the house. So right when I walk in, I'm not like shocked at all of the stuff in there. Actually, my first reaction is I see the baskets. There's baskets in the entryway, and I'm like, oh, it's so Little Women. It's so cute. And there is a fireplace, and so that was my first thought, like, oh, it's so cute. It's so girl. So as I walk in, the real estate agent is explaining the situation to me. He said, the previous owner passed away, and the family member that inherited his house has been trying so hard to get stuff ready and donate stuff, but they live like 10 hours away, so the drive was really hard, and the previous owner didn't have any kids, so he was like, don't worry, like all this stuff you see here, they have contracted a company that's going to come in. He said sadly, like a lot of it is just going to have to be thrown away, but this is very normal for a process like this. So he's like, just everything you see, don't worry, like this is all going to be gone. You can make it how you want it to be, just try to picture all the stuff gone. So I was like, okay, yep. So then I go into the main bedroom, which is now my bedroom, and I see the closet is open and there's all of these men's shirts. And immediately I'm like, oh no. Because for a long time I've been like volunteering and working, doing homeless outreach and encampment outreach, and we could never, ever, ever find men's clothes. It was so hard. We had kids' clothes, women's clothes, but no men's clothes hardly ever got donated. So when I saw all of those shirts, I was like, my Shayla, no, like, they're gonna throw them away. And I was just, that's so sad. I was trying to like devise a plan. I'm like, maybe I could just ask if I could have them. And so that like hit me. I was like, oh, that's sad. But as I'm going through the house, now I have this in the back of my mind, the shirts, and I'm like, And then as I'm looking around, I'm seeing like, oh, picture frames and like books and all these mementos, and it kind of hits me like, wow, this is someone's whole life. Like this is wild. And so we toured the house, we go upstairs, there's some rooms that are just like filled with stuff, so it's hard to get into them. So yeah, then we looked at the whole house, we told Kevin, we let him know our thoughts. So me and my dad went to a cafe and we were debriefing. Like I told my dad, I was like, I have a crazy idea. I said, what if I buy the house with all of the stuff in it and the shirts and everything in it? And then, it could give the family peace of mind that not everything's going to get thrown away, and I can just take on the responsibility of finding a new home for all of their items. And my dad was like, that's so crazy. I had the exact same idea. And here I'm thinking he's so practical, he's going to like talk me out of it. But he was like, no, I feel like that's a great idea. And I was like, wait, really? But let me just say, he saw some tools he liked. Okay, so it wasn't, he was like, oh, I don't have that tool. That tool's cool. So that was his headspace, okay? And so we call Kevin and we run this by him and we're like, can you ask the family if this would be cool with them. He, is texting us throughout the day, like, okay, talking with the family, blah, 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 blah. And then at 10 p.m. at night, so we looked at the house like at 10 in the morning. At 10 p.m. at night, he calls us and he's like, they've accepted your offer and I'm sending over the paperwork for you to sign. Pause. I just want to add that I put in my offer contingent on inspection, which just means that if my home inspector found something like mold, then the deal would be off. And that's just a way to protect yourself in these processes. And so I was like, what? Like, oh my goodness, it happened so fast. I was expecting like days, but he got all of the paperwork, like boom, boom, boom. They signed everything. And then it was super cool because we met with them, then they took off the price that they would have paid that company. So that's how it got dropped down to $97,000 for a house, which is so crazy. And then I even think how I was like freaking out. I'm like, I only got pre-qualified for $200,000 and it was literally $100,000 less than that. It was just so crazy. Like, it was one of those things you just couldn't make it up. It came right to me. And so I was like, wow, not only am I a homeowner, but I have the most stuff I've ever had in my whole entire life. I have so much stuff. So that is the story of how I bought the treasure house. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff in here. Let me just do a little show and tell from the stuff that I can grab. Like, for example, it's a pig. I think this is a piggy bank. What else do we have here? A rock. Whoa. Look at this hat I made. Wait, sorry. I'm like getting so distracted. I don't know if you can see it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what else. Look at the baby. So cute. So yeah, this has been my journey for the past... It's been a little over a year now. This has been my journey for the past year of finding new homes and giving new life to some of the stuff that I find. Still haven't even gone through most of the stuff, I'm going to be honest with you. One thing that I do want to mention and talk about is, you know how the family hired that company and, they lived really far away, so that made sense for them. But even if they lived like right next door to this house, I would never judge anyone who makes the decision to have to contract a company to clean out a house, because for me, when I go through this, it's so fun. It's like an adventure. It's all perspective gained because I'm finding out, ooh, what did they like? They liked cats. Oh, they like chess. They have a billion hobbies. It's so fun. One thing that I never experience when I'm going through this stuff is grief. And that is so real and so heavy for people. I do cry sometimes because I'll find something like so cute and I'll be like, oh my gosh, like it's sobering, like this is somebody's life, but it's not like I'm not sad. And so I totally understand that when you're a family member and you're going through your family member's house, like how hard, how sad, just the loss. Like I said, it's like all perspective gain for me, but for a family member, it's just like a constant reminder of the loss. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you or if anyone like has had to do that, that is totally fine. It's probably what is best just for your emotional well-being. But I mean, it's super fun for me that I got to go through the treasures, and so it just worked out so amazing. And it's really fun because I was actually the only person who toured this house. There were a couple like investor groups that looked at the house, but I was the only person. So it was just so meant to be, and it was so awesome. So this has been the journey and the adventure of my lifetime, and it's so fun. And it's honestly just getting started because, as you're gonna see a little later on, I haven't done that much. Like, I really have not done that much for a couple reasons, which I will get into, but yeah, it's crazy. Okay, also, this is really funny, but my grandma, since, she's seen my experience of going through this house, she all of a sudden is like clearing out her storage and giving all her stuff away, and she has this quote, which is so funny. She's like, do your giving while you're living, then you'll be knowing where it's going. And I was like, period, grandma, okay. So she's given me a lot of her cups, and I'm like, thanks, girl. Ah! So this house is really just impacting the whole family. It's wild. Now we're gonna switch it up, switch gears, and we're gonna do a house tour. Let's get into it. Oh, how I'm thinking this is gonna work is I'm gonna peel off one of these and then we're gonna go explore that room and I'll tell you guys what my favorite find from that room is. So let's start with this one. So this is what we refer to as the ham radio room because past the stacks of papers is actually a ham radio way back there. And it's one of the rooms where, you know, eventually we will get to it, but today is not that day. So we admire it from afar. And I think my favorite thing that I found is that record player that I just found on the ground right now. Okay, let's do this one. Welcome to the living room. This is a fun room. So if you look over here, we have our fireplace. And I was asking this guy who came in and inspected our fireplace, I'm like, so this whole thing right here, like, is this code? And he's like, yeah, that's way more than code. Like, they were really not trying to burn down the house. So that's another thing, eventually probably get that, maybe move that over there and make it not so much like taking up the whole entire area, but we still love it. In December, I probably had a fire like multiple times a week. It was so fun. See, this is our little desk. Oh, this is the original building that was on this property back in the olden days. So pretty. Then let's see what else. Another thing that's really fun is we'll find newspaper clippings all over the place, and it's a game. You have to try to guess like why they clipped it out. Is it this side or is it this side? So this side is a bird. And then the other side is a question about Google Chrome browsers. Which one do we think? This was fun. I feel like this is show and tell. But all of these little cassettes, and it's so fun to see. Like, this one is so pretty. Let's see who this is. Stardust Natalie Cole. Like, that is the album cover of all album covers. Look, Elvis. Everyone just had the coolest album covers. What the heck? That's so fun. I still need to figure out how to like listen to these. I don't know if we have. Oh, we might have something upstairs to do that. Let's do this one. Now welcome to what we lovingly refer to as the trap house kitchen. Look at these walls. So here is something interesting about the kitchen is if you come right down here, you will notice that there used to be some lovely wallpaper. The previous owner didn't like the wallpaper, I guess. He tried to scrape it off, but then hit this layer like of epidermis on the wall. And at this point, you just have to take out the drywall and redo it. So that's what we are left with here. But we can write notes on it, so it's kind of fun. Squid was here. It's a good day to have a good day. Let's have a good day. Very inspirational quotes. So eventually we will get the kitchen redone, but one thing that I am grateful for is that, come here. Okay. This is Finders Keepers, aka Meeps. And he is not allowed to go with, actually it's a she. She is not allowed to go outside anymore, but every single day, you still try to go outside, right? You still try to go outside.
Oh, don't look so innocent.
Yeah. Okay, so the one thing I am really grateful for about living in this house for a while and not redoing the kitchen right away is a couple things. One, on all of my Pinterest boards for a long time, when I thought of my dream kitchen, it included butcher block wood. But now, I think butcher block wood is the worst possible thing to ever happen because it has no will to live. Like, In the year I have lived in this house, I have done this stain. I have made this burn mark. I like somehow scratched up this whole entire area.
I broke this.
We broke this.
I don't know.
The atrocities that we have done to this butcher block should be recorded in the history books so no one ever repeats it again. And so now I'm thinking when I redo the kitchen, I'm gonna do granite. I don't know, what are people's thoughts? Like, what is a good, solid countertop that can withstand the atrocities that we throw at it? I think my favorite thing in the kitchen is this. It is so cute. Another thing that I love about this kitchen is the linoleum floors.
Okay.
So real talk, you know, they're not very cute. It's kind of a lot going on, but I love you linoleum because it is so easy to clean. It's so like called like the Christmas floor pattern, and it's not the original vintage from the 20s. It's the reprint from the 70s, and sadly it's kind of all marked up and beat up. So I don't think when we do the remodel eventually we will be able to salvage it. But I'm still want to get linoleum if they have like an updated version because it's so easy to clean. Everyone should have linoleum floors in their kitchen. Welcome to my room. Come on in. Okay, so this is my bedroom and this is the closet that I was telling you guys about in my story. I do not have as many clothes as the previous owner had. He had like 98 shirts and they filled up the whole thing. I only fill up half of the closet. Was here. The bedboard was also here, and then this was also here, and the reason it's still here is because one, it's cute, and two, I physically can't move it out because look at the door, and look at this, and look at that, and look at that. But I love it, so it's perfect. Also, this is from 2005 Pier 1 Imports, vintage. That's crazy, that's 20 years ago. Okay, so it was a fun DIY project that I did, which is putting up this stuff, because one thing about the house that you should know is that if you put something somewhere, it goes away. If you put something somewhere, it goes away. If you put it right, let me put it right here, it's gone. Where did it go? We can never find anything. My sister's filming. Can you attest? Is it true that we can never find anything in this house? We can never find them in this house. And so the main things that we can never find a hammer. So I have it here. Also, I don't think this works because we can never find my drill and it's not where it's supposed to be. The drill is supposed to be here. So it's kind of not working the way that I wanted it to. But okay, so that is this fun project. Oh, and then I'll show you guys. We got some money up here, of course, and lots of soda tabs. So every time I find a soda tab in the house, I put it in here. We have some coins that we found. Look at this guy. Cool. And I think my favorite thing, let's see. My favorite thing that I found in this, oh my gosh, look what it is. I forgot to tell you guys about the cats. That's kind of like a whole thing. This cat is the baby of the stray cat that we took in. Oh my gosh, so much to catch everyone up on. But okay, do you agree, Ella, that I feel like when I try to catch people up on the lore of the treasure house, I sound like a pathological liar because I'll be like, oh yeah, someone will be like, that's so cool, where'd you get it? And I'm like, oh, you know, my house, it just had it in there. And then I'll talk about the cat and they're like, whoa, that's fun. I'm like, oh yeah, the one that came with the house, the stray cat. And then the other one is not the stray cat. This is the one that the stray cat gave birth to. I don't know. It gets very convoluted. This is Squid.
Hi. Speak in the mic.
Beep, 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 beep. But it's so funny. Okay, so Squid is literally, because we've never had cats before, and I thought that Meeps, our other cat, who is the stray cat, was just a normal cat, but that cat is real feral compared to this one, because you can just, this one has no will to just fight. He's so chill. You can pick him up. Oh, wait.
Don't grab the camera.
You can pick him up, but Meeps, you have to give Meeps your space. Okay, he wants to go now, but oh, these, the previous owner origamied them, so that's so cute. I keep them right here. And then this, of course, is a little cat. We are now going into our basement, and this is what it looks like at first. So you could hardly step 1 foot in it, and I think this was at one point like a wood shop room because the previous owner was a contractor and he did a lot of carpentry and woodworking. This is what we have brought it to today. So we gave away a lot of the scrap wood and miscellaneous tools over the past year, and now we have some floor space. But just when you thought you've cleaned out the basement, now there's a different part of the basement that's still filled with a lot of stuff. It's never ending. So now we are checking out our loft, which is the room that I filmed this video in. And this is another room that I haven't gotten to, but that is intentional because I knew I needed to do the basement first. The basement is a lot of manual labor, moving bricks, moving plywood, but this is right up my alley and super fun mystery treasureness. And it's the perfect reward after having been trapped in the basement for a year. This is the bathroom before renovations. As you can see, the shower is not usable, but we do have some cute wallpaper. This is it after our renovations. It's fun because this is an antique piece of furniture that we converted into a little sink, and then the beadboard is actually from the house. So we got to use that in our project. And the shower is now usable. And my favorite thing that we found was in the bathtub, we found a year supply of toilet paper. So for the first year of living at the treasure house, we did not have to buy toilet paper. This is our unrenovated second bathroom. We love the vintage wallpaper. It works. It works. And the best part of this bathroom is the I voted mirror. That is a lot of voting. They did not shirk their civic duty. So this one is my sister's bedroom, and this is how it started off. And this is how it looks now. As you can see, we kept some of the bigger pieces from this room, and we moved a lot of this paper and stamp collections down to the basement. And we ripped up the carpet and replaced it with LVP, mainly because our little stray cat gave birth to 5 kittens on the carpet. That is a true story. Okay, now we are in this weird kind of dining room area. This is our front door, and so right when you walk in, we kind of didn't know what it should be, but then we found this table in the basement and we're like, okay, it's kind of cute, like have a little table for hosting people, and it's nice and cozy. And then we have, this is the other plant I inherited, so I didn't kill this one. This one actually looks way better than the one in my room. And then my mom gave me that one. This is my favorite thing probably in here. This is Rebecca. We love her. She is so cute. It's a hand-sewn chicken. Then, what else do I like in here? Oh, this is super fun. This, what is this called? China cabinets. So pretty. This is another fun thing. Okay, I think this is like 100 keys. So literally everywhere we look, we find keys. And so anytime we find a key now, we just add it to this giant keychain situation. Look at this one. Oh, and this one's so cute. My dream in life is to just find one key. Just to find what one of these goes to, because yeah, I don't think we've found any. Oh, this one says keys to black metal file cabinet. I've never seen a black metal file cabinet, so that's not really helpful.
The lawnmower.
Oh, the lawnmower. Oh, right. Okay, so there was a lawnmower in the backyard and it was locked up, and I actually did end up finding a lawnmower key, and it took me like 4 hours. But then the lawnmower didn't work, and then my dad tried to fix it and it didn't work. It was just dead. Okay, and then of course these are the baskets that are hanging from this nice lovely beam. That was my first impression when I walked into this house. And it's funny because this whole like wall up here, you can kind of see it was like covered in baskets, but we were like, okay, that's a little too much. So we got all these baskets and we scrubbed them out, and then we made them into Christmas baskets and gave them to our friends, not this Christmas but last Christmas. And I don't know, I love these baskets. Yeah. Oh, and then this is fun. This was like a TV stand, and we converted it into a little coffee bar. So we have our little morning coffee, little barista moment, and then we have our little cheers. So yeah, that is our little dining room slash cafe room slash don't even know. That is the end of the treasure house tour, and I want to just say thank you so much for watching. Until next time.